Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about Resident Evil 3 Remake. I used to have a mixed reaction to this game because, Resident Evil 2 Remake came out, I think it was 2019 or early 2020. I want to say 2019. Masterpiece of a game. I did a review on that. Definitely check that out. And my, subscribe, of course. Subscribe. You don't have to like the video, but definitely subscribe. I definitely want to see more people see my content and just get a different opinion. I'm not going to just sit here and say I like everything just because. Listen, I have no sponsors, nobody's giving me anything, so these are real videos here. So anyway, back to the content. I was a huge fan of Resident Evil 3, the original. Let me just start this game on do a new game, so I just talk to you when I'm playing the game. So I was a real fan. I was a huge fan of Resident Evil 3, the original, which had a lot of problems, to be honest. Resident Evil 2 original was a much better game than Resident Evil 3 original. I don't think that's a controversial thing to say because it was. Those are just facts. And with the Resident Evil 3 original, you had a nice sized map. I didn't care for Jill with her in that little Scottish dress, whatever that was, a little preppy dress, but it is what it is. They wanted to make her a more realistic character, I guess, if you want to call it that. And she was the star of the game. The only time you saw Jill before this was Resident Evil 1 in a mansion, and you kind of had the option between to be Jill and Chris at the time. So they made Resident Evil 3 starring Jill, which Resident Evil 3 technically takes place before Resident Evil 2. It's like the beginning of the outbreak in Raccoon City, while 2 is more so the aftermath before the missile hit the town and all that. So spoiler alert, everyone dies in Raccoon City. You should know this by now. This game has been out for 300 years. So anyway, the differences between them are subtle differences. Like you see Jill. That's what I'm looking for here. Places, things like when you meet the Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 Remake. As you can see, I loaded the game from the original. The Nemesis is in the first 5 minutes of the game. If you skip the cutscenes that take forever, he's literally in the first 5 minutes. If you played the original, they gave you the opportunity to kind of truck around the town a little bit. You meet Brad, he's terrified. The Brad in this is a little bit different. He seems a lot more confident. I don't know why, but again, if you haven't played the original and you're new to the series, you're not going to know who Brad Vickers is. They call him Chicken Heart for a reason. And so for this particular game, you start in your apartment, which you did start in your apartment in the original, but you did this ridiculous front flip out the front as like an explosion. And you met Dario, whatever the guy name was, and you had you were basically making it to the police station to see if you could find anybody there, right? Now I do like this aspect where they put you inside the apartment. That's pretty cool. I wish they just kind of had a sequence where you kind of just looked at you just were chased by zombies instead, and you kind of had to dodge certain places to get to the police station. But they don't do that in this one. Instead, they introduce the Nemesis right away. I always found this game as more of a cash grab rather than like a real masterpiece, because they knew that Resident Evil 2 did so well in sales, and it was such a great game that it looks like they kind of used the same engine for 3, but they toned down the violence. Like for instance, when you shot a zombie in Resident Evil 2 in the leg was right there. The leg would fall off. If you shot it, damaged it, and just left it there, the arm would eventually just tear off on its own. The physics for the bodies were much better in the remake of 2. Now 3, you hit a body part, it basically explodes like it's a bomb or something. I don't know why they would do that. That seems extremely lazy. But for what I've heard, it's like the B team of Capcom worked on this one. Again, I'm not mad at the game or that they cut corners. But I will say that it's a lot more explosions, a lot more movement. It's a lot more, I'm not going to say it's more fluid because it's not, but there's a lot more elements in this game where you do dodge like the original. It's not that timing nonsense anymore, where you can time it to get a perfect dodge. You'll dodge the enemy, you get the opportunity to shoot at them. But for this one, you can dodge 3 times, and then Jill kind of have to take a breather for 1 second, then you can dodge again. And it makes it easier to dodge. It's just a lot more realistic, right? Well, not this part. The Nemesis wouldn't pick up a roof. And this is more for just cinematic action sequence. To me, it looks like it's more to appease new players. Because I don't think anyone that really played the original would like that particular cutscene. You're just basically holding up the entire time. to get outside the house. And this is technically where the game starts, where they kind of teach you the buttons. You get your first gun. Not bad. Again, it's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. But again, the map in this game is extremely small. And I mean extremely small, meaning the 1998 or 99 version of this game, where the original had a bigger map than this game. Where you went to the paper factory, you see Carlos there. Depending on the actions that you chose in the Nemesis computer, you can jump out the window, you can fight the creature. You had the underground facility and the restaurant where the water could flood and you got to get out of there. Like, it gave you other options to kind of keep you on your toes, especially back then when we never had a game with quick time events like this. It just didn't exist. This was, I'm not gonna say it's the first of its kind, because I'm not too sure. There were a lot of PS1 games, but it was like the first of its kind that was actually good at those type of jump scares and decisions you had to make. Should I fight the Nemesis? Should I run? Should I do this? Should I do that? Ultimately, certain decisions did decide your ending. Like if you jumped off the bridge at the end at the power plant, and that would decide if you met Barry or not for the ending. You'll see Barry, and he's like, "Hello, Jill," that type of thing, and I'm geeking out. But at that type of moment, it changed it up. That was the original. For this one, it's all scripted, of course. You're going to get the same ending every single time, the same choices. Everything happens. Sure, you can do it faster, but it doesn't change. And I'm okay with that because this is a new day and age for games. I just appreciate having a remake. What I don't appreciate is, like I said, they took out the clock tower. Jill going to the police station doesn't happen. Instead, they have Carlos do that, which I'm not mad that Jill didn't go, because I do like the new Carlos, his attitude, his hair. He actually looks like a mercenary instead of some pretty boy that uses L'Oreal in his hair. He actually looks like a man. And he doesn't have that fake accent that some American did. He sounds like a regular guy. They didn't try to have him have some Dominican or Puerto Rican accent. They just kind of were like, you know what? Let's just get a voice actor to be Carlos. We're going to do this, and we're going to just make him witty and smart mouth. And I think it works very well. As a matter of fact, I dare say that you'll enjoy Carlos's parts of this game more than you would enjoy Jill's. At least I did. I loved it, especially with the submachine gun and all that he had. To me, the better weapon initially. You do get more weapons in this game, and you do get a submachine gun if you put it on like assisted mode. But if you play on normal, you won't. So anyway, after you meet Dario in the original, you can't come back to this area. Now, in the original, you could. Like, it would become nightfall. You had the option to kind of, come back to certain areas to see what happened. While this one, you move forward, you keep going. That is the game. It doesn't stop from there. You just keep going. It's one section to the next, a cutscene, a few seconds here. They did cut out some enemies. Like, they cut out the, I don't know what the monsters are called, but it's like these little furry spider monsters. Instead, they added like this nest near a electric plant thing to turn on the power to get the trolleys running. But instead of a trolley this time, which where you used to meet Nikolai and well, not Nikolai, but you might have met Mikhail and Carlos took you to the trolley, or you just got to the trolley. Carlos had nothing to do with you getting there. As a matter of fact, in the original. And you was in a trolley cart, which Nemesis messes up. You fight him at the clock tower, boss, you're infected, all that stuff while you're fighting him, right? Then you go into the clock tower. Carlos goes to the hospital, and they did cut the clock tower out. There's a clock tower boss, but there's no clock tower area where you're actually trying to figure out that puzzle. You're not fighting spiders in there, which I'm okay with not fighting spiders. That was kind of a lame enemy, to be honest. They should have put more hunters in here. But you do still have the hunters in the hospital. You're Carlos when you're in the hospital, and then you're Jill when you get the virus vaccine. They cut out, like I said, a few areas. Like when you go into the restaurant, I do like the fact that in the remake they play the ending music to Resident Evil 2, which is weird. Like, it's the ending music of Resident Evil 2, the rock and roll song version. But there's no basement. It's just a save room in there, and just a small, tiny diner with a couple booths. So everything is scaled down. All the places, the factory where you see the zombies coming towards you and Carlos run. The gas station, I almost forgot that. The gas station where the zombies come and you defend it with Carlos. Different options. None of that's there. Like, they'll have a gas station get destroyed or something in this game, like a landmark, so you see certain areas, and it's literally like not even a block away. Like if I walked outside in Upper Darby or Philadelphia, like 2 city blocks is the entire downtown. I'm not even exaggerating. And saying 2 city blocks is being generous for this game. So they really scaled down the amount of exploration that you have in this game. Every time you get a key, you use it immediately. It's done. The most disappointing part is the fact that in the original, Nemesis popped up in places and it was scripted, but it set it off where he will follow you for a certain amount of time. This is just a scripted scene where Nemesis follows you. Once you leave, you're done. He might chase you twice and then 2 times, as a matter of fact, in the entire game. 2 or 3, but I want to say 2, which is terrible. And they were both scripted. Once you get through it, you never have to worry about him again. So you fight him as a boss. His transformations were pretty cool for the most part for the boss fights. There's only so much you can do, and the boss fights are definitely better than the original. Well, correction. The last boss fight, you know, they have this ridiculous sized rail gun. It's over the top. But I will say that the 99 version of this game, Resident Evil 3, or again, whatever year it came out, definitely had a better last boss battle. It had, like, you were tired of Nemesis chasing you. It gave it more life. Like, they actually paced it better. But again, obviously this has better graphics, better guns for the most part. Same guns, actually, and a couple extras. It actually has this mode where you're able to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Buy weapons. Like, if you kill a certain amount of zombies, if you get through the game, if you do certain challenges, just kill enemies with grenade launchers, different things, it actually unlocks unlimited weapons for you, like guns with an unlimited clip, where it gives it a higher replay value. Like, unlike 2, I love Resident Evil 2. But once you get everything in Resident Evil 2, you know, you play the zombies, you do the B game and different things, there's really nothing else to do. Wow, Resident Evil 3 Remake, you can beat this game in 4 hours. And we're talking not a speed run or anything, just walking through it, collecting most of the items, probably 53, 54. When I first beat it, I got 53 out of 56 files. I never tried to look for them. I got all the weapons on my first try, which you can skip weapons in this game. I powered up all the weapons on my first try. So it wasn't a situation where it was a very difficult game at all. It was actually very easy. I think they toned down the difficulty level in this game for casual players. That's why there's the assistant mode, which is fine. I'm actually up for that, because sometimes you just want to play a game for the experience rather than trying to make everything difficult. And everybody wants to play the Dark Souls at Resident Evil, you know. And I don't know why I keep using Dark Souls, but that difficulty stays the same to a New Game Plus. What I will say is that if you do a New Plus in Nightmare mode and other modes, what happens with this game is that you know, some games are just unbalanced, where their enemies are just harder or it just takes more damage. It's not balanced. The normal is the balance mode. Hard, if you're looking for a little survival challenge where you don't make as, when you create bullets, you don't make as much. It feels more like the original game, to be honest, if you play it on hard more so. And I think you would have a better experience playing on hard than necessarily normal. But I don't suggest assisted at all, unless you're just trying to get an achievement and beat it on every level. I did that on the PlayStation 4, but I did end up buying this on the PC, so I'm not going through all that work again. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the Mercenaries mode, which I was hoping it did, but it has this other mode. It's like a Resident Evil versus type thing where someone's the mastermind, the other people are victims trying to escape, and you work together to unlock some doors. Let me tell you something, that's the worst mode I've ever seen in any Resident Evil game ever. I'd rather play a Resident Evil game on Game Boy instead of that, and I'm not even exaggerating. At least it has a better story. But again, so if we're talking about this game, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 on the simple fact that it's too short, number one. They cut out a lot of areas, key areas of the game. Sure, they patched it up and made it where you don't miss them. And as a new player, you're really going to appreciate this game because it's much faster than Resident Evil 2. And it took me a while to kind of warm up to it because I didn't like Jill's attitude, how they kind of made her. But then I realized, you know, this was the time where they knew everything about Umbrella. So we got to think back to the beginning of Resident Evil where Umbrella was still, you know, in power. I'm at the point in the Resident Evil series where Umbrella doesn't exist, except for like Blue Umbrella or whatever it is with Resident Evil Village. So anyway, enough for my rambling. I did have to re-record this because the sound was too high on my last video, so you couldn't really hear me. All you hear was the gunfire and different things happening. So, just do a re-recorded, toned down version of what I did. I do like the fact that, when you get on a train, they have like survivors back here. They didn't have that in the original one. And it probably wouldn't work well in a one-cart trolley cart. So they did upgrade it to the subway, which makes a lot more sense because since they cut out the clock tower, right? When you crash in the subway, you end up in a subway area where you fight these new freaky monster things, dinosaur-looking monsters. I don't know why they made that. Oh, I forgot to mention that. They took out some of the key monsters that we loved in this game, like those walking spider things that stand up and jump on you with different things. They took that out. They changed them to like a miniature version, a smaller version of little spiders that come out these little holes in the wall. I don't even know how to describe them. But even though they took that element away, they also took away the worm boss. So they took away bosses from this game too, and made it where you're always fighting Nemesis. They tried to focus on that, which they should have focused on. Hey, like how about you? What's the word over here? How about you guys? I don't know. Put Nemesis more into the game. That's why to me this thing is called Resident Evil 3 Remake. The original one was called Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and you saw a lot of Nemesis in the original. This one, not so much. You just see him more so twice in a scripted scene. That's it. Then all you got to do is, what are these? Wow. Then all you have to do after that is, that's it. It's just a scripted scene. But I will say that the areas in this one is a lot more realistic. No, actually they're not. The areas in the other one was a lot more realistic. You had little hallways that led to certain areas of the district, right? And you had certain areas that led to the district. It was easier. It was easier to backtrack to certain places. There was a lot more zombies. I'm not gonna say there's a lot more zombies in the original, but it was definitely more exciting to me. Obviously, I played Resident Evil 8, the original, Resident Evil 3, the original, a couple weeks ago, and it was like, ugh, how can I play this? But after playing this game 4, 5, 6 times, I've beaten it. I'm getting certain guns. I have the unlimited machine gun, as you see. I started unlocking different weapons. I really had fun just running through this game, playing it on harder levels because I earned this stuff, and I'm playing it through harder levels. There's even items where you can have higher defense or you heal yourself over time when you get hit. But if you're playing on hard and higher, 2 hits you're probably dead. With certain bosses you're probably dead in 1 hit. So, it is what it is. After that, your dodge looks like this. So when she does it the 3rd time, she stumbles a little bit. It just takes a second and you can do dodge again. If a zombie attacks you or lunges at you or Nemesis swings, you can do this time dodge where you spin around and you spin, the screen goes white for a moment, it flashes, and then you're able to shoot the zombie in the face. I'll try it. I'm not the best at this dodge move. I played this game just like it was the original. Let's see if I can get him. I couldn't. Whatever. So anyway, the point is that there is a dodge move in the game. You can use this thing called a perfect dodge. I haven't played this game in a while, to be honest, since it came out. Not since it came out, since sometime last year. But I kind of wanted to just do some reviews of the game. So for anyone that hasn't played this, I believe you will enjoy this game, especially as a new person to Resident Evil 3. You heard of the old one. The controls were super clunky in the old one. This is much more fluid to current gameplay for people that are actually used to playing these types of games. I like it. I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed with this game. For the price tag at $60, I was definitely disappointed when I first got it because it wasn't worth it. It feels more like DLC to 2, which in truth it could have been. You just could have paid like $30 for the DLC or something, but they did make it its own game and included that Resident Evil mode where you're like fighting against other people, which is a terrible mode. But right now you can probably get this game for $30. Probably get this game for $40 or so, 30, 40 new. I know, I think you have a great experience. It's definitely better than Revelations 1 and 2, in my opinion. It's better than a lot of the old titles and current Resident Evil titles. 7's pretty good also, if you haven't played that. It's first person with Ethan Winters. I do suggest that. I don't suggest you play that before 8 because, they play entirely different altogether. But I'll try to stick to 3 in this review. Again, like right here, this is the donut shop. To the right is another little area that we've been to before. As you can see, everything seems... As a matter of fact, I'll give you a few more minutes. I'll give you an example. perfect example. So this is basically the restaurant, right? Let me help myself. Yes, I know how to play. All right, so right here is the restaurant. Normally in the original game, you have a save room right here, but you didn't have a save room before. What you had was it was a downstairs area where the nemesis could come here, and if you were Carlos, you have the option to go down there and escape through the back, or escape back upstairs. I forget which one it is, but you had different options. When you ran outside, it was a whole long block you had to go up to escape the nemesis, and they forced you to zigzag and kind of dodge to get away from him. In this one, as soon as you go outside, right, you have this area here. I'll kill that a bit fast. You have this area right here. This is the subway system to get the subway up and running. You basically go through here. You have to get the power back on in a particular area, I believe. Do this with Dan. Okay. You go through here. This is the subway area. You get the power on, and then you set this little. It's not even a puzzle. It's self-explanatory. They tell you. If you look at the sheet right here, it tells you exactly what not to push. It takes a few seconds. You put that in. You're ready to leave the area that fast. Of course, you have to go through a couple of little sequences and different things and fight the nemesis and chase scenes. You meet Nikolai. They kind of downplayed Nikolai's character in this game big time. He's not the guy. He's from Operation Watchdog, but the black gentleman, I forgot his name in this game. He was part of Operation Watchdog too, but instead they changed his character like he was a good guy trying to help Carlos escape in different things. He gets killed differently, so they really changed up a lot in the game. This is the pharmacy. Remember, the pharmacy, you went behind here, you found Murphy. He changed to a zombie. Either Carlos killed him, or you shot him, or something, or Nikolai shot him, or Carlos shot him himself. I forget, but they actually changed a lot in this game, a lot. So that small area is this is the downtown area. Like if you remember the original, this is the downtown area. You can go up the steps right here. It leads to like a little section. It's so small. It's actually disrespectful how they did this. Again, the game is still enjoyable, and there's optional areas like this gate right here where you can go through with the jaws of life. You cut it, and it doesn't even lead to another area, I don't believe. Or this particular gate might lead to another area, I think. No, it doesn't. It leads behind a wall with zombies, right? And basically those zombies, it's like a body with shotgun shells or something. So there's no element of surprise really in this game like the other one. Like literally, this is the entire area that you need to set up. And then when you go through this door, there's another little stairs over here. I know I'm being really vague. Again, the game is good. I enjoy the combat in the game. I really do like it. But I can't, just forget about the fact that they just kind of half-assed this game. Like they didn't put all the effort that they wanted to. Like this leads to the area I was just at where the zombies were near that gate. You just kick a ladder down for quick access, which I don't know why you need quick access for that part when plainly it's only around the corner to go up the steps. And this area right here leads to a little room that has a safe inside of it. A couple zombies. Where's this guy at? Shoot him up. And this leads right outside, right here. Let me see. Downstairs to where we just were, where this is where that train place was. Was it the train place? Yeah, you walk through there. That's a train. We set up the train schedule. This is the prescription place right here. So they really just congested and smashed in. I don't know if it had something to do with data or not, but they kind of smashed in everything in the same area. And this is a rush game. I'll be honest with you. This is, in fact, a rush game. And then they had the generic Tomb Raider wife beater right here with the jeans, and they're kind of doing that for that gung ho woman look. And I'm like, I'm not mad at it. I'm not. I definitely didn't want that original one where you're in a skirt. If you pre-order the game, you get the original costume for Jill and Carlos with his weird hair. The current Carlos is much better with his hair, like I showed you in the video. But that's about it. This is just the main area. Also, this is all my game. So if anyone, says fair use, guess what? I bought the game and I'm just recording it. Just to show you guys. Yeah, I'm not as excited about this as I am about Resident Evil 2. But I will say, if you purchase the game for the lower price, you will have fun. To me, it has a higher replay value. You have this option right here where it's records, where as you do certain things, it tells you the condition up top, you get points. Where you can then take those points in the beginning of the game before you start it, and you can buy weapons, you can buy items, you can buy different things to help you along the journey, and they are basically inside this item box every game you play. So I have an infinite handgun, an infinite machine gun. I have a Raiden, which if anyone doesn't know, if you aim at a zombie's weak spot, they'll explode right away. You can actually kill a boss with 1 or 2 hits, even on a harder level, or 3 or something. It's super easy. You have the hot dagger, which when you hit a zombie with this, he actually catches on fire. So it does have some cool collectibles that you can use when you play the game. But again, um, certain areas that Jill normally will go to, she doesn't. Carlos does himself. I'm not mad at that on the simple fact that I still got to see the police station. Thank God. We still have the hospital. If anything, the hospital is a little bit better than the original because you have it in third person. Is it third person? Yeah, third person view, and it's a little bit more exciting. It does lead to the laboratory typically, like the other game, or the sewer. I forget. I don't really remember if this game has a sewer, to be honest, but it's not really memorable for $60. But for like a $30 or $40 price tag, I think you will like this game. Even though I put it down a little bit, it plays a lot like Resident Evil 2. It's actually faster paced. And the reason I got bit so many times because I wasn't really pressing the dodge button. You're supposed to be able to dodge those attacks and then retaliate against the zombie. So, for anyone that's into the Resident Evil series, definitely pick this up. I enjoyed it. It grew on me after the third playthrough or so. Like, I liked it before. I never hated the game. I just didn't expect it to be as short as it was, and it wasn't that challenging. But as you start upping the level, it does get more challenging. But I feel that the base game should have been harder in the first place. I feel like they gave you way too many bullets, way too many items. You can literally get through the game without shooting any zombies. Really, you could just kind of dodge roll them throughout the game if you want to, if you're good enough. I'm sure someone has done it through a speed run. But that's it. So I'm gonna, leave your leave your thoughts for this one if you watch the entire video to its entirety. Subscribe to my channel. I'm not gonna tell you to like. If you dislike it, that's fine. We could talk about it. Just be respectful in the comments. If you like it, thumbs up, hit my video up. Definitely looking for more subscribers so I can kind of just get the message for different products. Oh, I didn't. You know what? That's pretty cool. I didn't realize the attention to detail where you swing your knife, it actually scrapes the table. I didn't know that. So, you know, still not enough to recover. It's Resident Evil 2 is still better to remake, but definitely pick them both up. This is fast. It's easy. It's not survival horror. It's more action than anything. But it's still enjoyable, and you can just look at Jill's face with scratches on it. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe, like I said.